organization, the people we put inside SOC, etc., monitoring, etc. These are not enough. That's clear to everyone, I guess. So that's why we need to complement what we have. We have prevention measures, we have detection capabilities, etc. On top of them, we should have active threat hunting activities and continuously. I mean, this shouldn't be pop-up and activity. This should be done continuously. This is what I understand from threat hunting.
Okay, continuous and you know, looking for new things. What about you, Florin? I like the fact that you're in a security operations center. Congratulations on your virtual background. I like that. What does active threat hunting mean for you? And I guess we could segue on to the next type of question, which is where's the border between the internal environments and the MSS environments when we're looking for these active threats?
Thank you, Florin. Yeah, for me, threat hunting, it's a security cocktail that I'm using to give our incident detection and response team. It's this cocktail has a very nice recipe because you need a good human capital. You need quality and quantity of data, and also you need threat intelligence. If you have everything the best quality, then you have at least 10% luck. You can say, okay, you have the successful active threat hunting. It's complementary to incident and response and detection team. It's actually something what every company should doing to proactive security.
Okay, so proactivity, and let's run with that. Then Francesco, especially with the question of internal versus external stakeholders, how are we gonna be proactive? Surely there is a limit. Like, you don't want your MSS maybe, you know, retaliating to a threat, and I don't know. Can we merge active threat hunting with intelligence tools?
Yes, that's the trend right now in the market. We can see the big players doing it. We see Microsoft doing it, trying to merge with their Azure threat protection portals, and they're trying to merge all the intelligence tools with these active threat hunting portals. It's still a long way to do it. It's very tricky because in the one way it can help you a lot, in the other way it can deceive you a lot. So you could be acting on something that it's not really a threat, it's someone doing something really dumb or whatever, right? And the system thinks you're doing it. But yeah, the trend is to merge intelligence with these threat hunting tools, so we have more information. So the analysts and the first responders, I call it first responders, it's the first level in the SOC, right? They look at it, they analyze it, and they can act on it or not. They have more information. So the whole idea is to know, okay, this ATP, this is the behavior of them. So we see this behavior in our network or in our environment. Let's act on it, or let's see what's happening, because this is a known way of attack from some ATP, some threats. So yeah.
Yeah, so known attack. Well, let's run with that then. Ahmet, what about a known ATP? How does the MITRE ATT&CK framework then fit in, and what framework should we employ for threat hunting in the first place, given that we're asking about active threat hunting?
Yeah, okay. It's good to hear that you mentioned the MITRE ATT&CK framework. Actually, I love that. I'm one of the fan of MITRE ATT&CK, like most of us. It's really important to shape your threat hunting activity. Okay. First of all, you can start your threat hunting activity in your environment using that threat intel knowledge base. MITRE ATT&CK actually provide you a lot of information related with the high-profile attackers, different types of APTs, what kind of techniques they are using, and it also provides you some guidance or some tips how you can detect such activities, etc. So it's a very good starting point for threat hunting activities. Actually, first of all, maybe you can list your crown jewels in your environment, okay? And you should also decide what kind of APTs can be interested in your crown jewels and interested in your sector, interested in your activities as an organization. Then you can create a short list of APTs, and then you can try to identify what kind of TTPs they are using, and you can start with one of them as a threat hunting activity. I mean, you can create a hypothesis. Okay, if that APT group is chasing me, what they can do and how I can catch them, etc. So to create a good hypothesis is yet another important part of the problem. If you devise a wrong hypothesis or a really unrelated one, then you will end up with you will end up with losing your valuable time and resources. So it is also important. And the MITRE ATT&CK framework really help you to keep you on the track. And yeah, we can use it as a starting point.
Okay, so a starting point now, that's good, and we've talked before about MITRE ATT&CK framework quite a lot, and I know some people are like, oh no, here we go again, another thing on MITRE ATT&CK, but it seems to keep on being popular. What about you, Florin? What sort of approach should we attempt, especially with active threat hunting?
Well, I think the most important thing is to think about a little bit at standard methodologies of threat hunting. We have a hypothesis-driven investigation where, as Ahmet says, we need to identify new TTPs. We have IOC and IOA indicator of compromise and indicator of attack-driven investigation, when we try to associate based of known IOC and IOA new threats. And the last but not least, and one of the very important, where maybe also the MITRE ATT&CK framework, it's playing a big role. It's a machine learning investigation and deeply advanced analytics. These three things, I think, should happen in every normal process of threat hunting. And if these three methodologies are fulfilled, then the rest could be only a success.
Yeah, I guess you'd actually have to find someone that would do it, and we'll get onto the skills. And we've heard from the analysts of the future before, which is kind of good. What changing tack slightly, Francesco. When we spoke before, we thought about active threat hunting, and we mentioned SOC collaboration, and the potential that actually it's not necessary because that's the job of the CSERT. What do you think we can do there with collaboration?
We have the CSERT networks, this kind of collaboration. We know they're being attacked, telcos are being attacked, or government entities are being attacked in Germany or in UK or France or whatever. Now, what can be done? I don't believe we can have someone else taking care of our whole SOC, right? It doesn't work. but I think there are ways of working. For example, when we talk about machine learning or AI, so it's only effective with the amount of data you feed into it, and it learns about it, right? So if you try to somehow have this information available so the machines can learn, it could be helpful. I don't see if it is possible due to legal reasons or whatever reason you can come up with, but it could be an interesting way of thinking about it, like these AI networks learning all together. So instead of myself doing the heavy lifting by my own, I can have help from others having, okay, we had these kind of scenarios, we learn with this, feed the machine, and I will be stronger. That's the whole point of C-certs too, the networks. So we know these are being attacks or these are known attacks today or whatever. So you could beef up this kind of idea into a bigger role, I guess. It could be a good collaboration.
All right, well, but Francesco, can I then put a negative slant on it? Because surely collaboration is fantastic, but surely then if you end up with SOC and SOC and SOC collaboration, surely you're going to get alert fatigue and loads of false positives, and it's going to be really big pain. Well, let's go with that then, and let's can I keep with you, Francisco? Then you mentioned some difficulties with regulations. Is active threat hunting difficult in Germany specifically?
Yes and no. Yes, could be difficult. It depends on the size of the company and the size of the workers' council, right? Normally, workers' council are not very keen on us spying on the users, so they're in the companies to protect us, right? That's for sure, to protect the workers. So if someone is saying in the company, I'm going to spy on the users, of course, the workers' council will have some constraints on it, and they will try to regulate the maximum so we don't do something we shouldn't. So we don't know when the worker starts, when the worker leaves. We don't report on that user is doing this or that. So, and that is the tricky part in Germany. It's not impossible, but it gives us a hard time. But that's part of it, right? The whole idea to protect the workers, so we know all the scenarios and we understand what we're doing. Yeah.
No, I understand. No, it's good, and I think that's a good point. Ahmet, what do you think then? We were talking SOC collaboration, and then difficulties of doing active threat hunting in Germany. I guess active threat hunting can take you in any direction, which is the issue, that it could take you towards looking at your own employees, but it could take you, I don't know, it could take you somewhere else. What do you think, Ahmet?
Yeah, actually. I'm working for a Swiss-based company, and we have different customers across the globe in different continents. So, I mean, in different countries. So, time to time, we need to provide some consultancy for threat hunting activities for different customers. In that case, we actually follow that specific country's laws and their rules. Actually, mostly we are working with the governmental organizations. So in that case, we are guiding only from technical point of view, but they take care of the rest of the story. I mean, if it is allowed, if it is okay, where's the limit, where we should stop, etc., then we are working hand in hand with the customer in such cases.
Okay, well then that's fair enough. Then you can adapt it from place to place. Florin, why don't we delve into why active threat hunting is a spicy topic, right? It's not just that it can take you anywhere. So you know you're looking for threats, and you might end up, oh no, the CEO has done something bad. You know, it can take you anywhere, right? But some people equate active threat hunting with basically retaliatory cyber attacks. It's not the same. It's not the same at all. But why do you think active threat hunting is such a challenging topic today?
Well, a similar question I get some time ago from my CEO, and she asked me literally, what is the ROI of threat hunting? What is the return of investigation? And I asked him, look, to identify ongoing attacks, it is about 50% of business investment. And to detect passive attacks after they happened, it's always the other part. So it's like Henry Ford says, I have a 50-50 rule. I don't know if I'm losing 50%, if I'm gaining 50%. But for sure, if you are investing in the threat hunting, you are not losing the 50%. You are winning 100% because you have active and you have also passive threat hunting. Why it's so spicy? Because people are thinking always, okay, I have some tools, I have some machines, I have maybe some people there taking a look on that machines, I'm secure. And this is actually not the truth. You cannot be secure if you are not doing something proactive. Because the hackers, and I will not say the hackers, I will say every security guy, it's developing himself. The problem will be complexer and complexer, and you cannot say, okay, I have a tool, I have a machine, it's doing something for me, and I can sleep without thinking of anything bad.
I like it because then we say automation is going to take over and automation is going to take jobs and run away with things, but we need human intervention, and as we had in the analyst panel, you know, we just need to make their jobs more interesting. All right. What about you, Francesco? Then, if we try and conclude with this kind of topic, what about automation of threat hunting and the SOC of the future? Is that even a question anymore?
No. So I kind of lightly touched on it previously when we were talking about collaboration, right? So automation will have a big role on the SOC of the future to release these analysts from these boring tasks. So they keep seeing alarms, they're recurrent, and they have to act on it. So if we have some kind of thresholds that we define, some kind of alarms that we define, some kind of automation over it, maybe we can work with it. And that's where machine learning or AI, I don't like to use these buzzwords, but that's the truth. It's where machine learning or AI will have some impact and release these analysts to do better jobs than just act on boring tasks. And then that's what's happening. They're just overwhelmed with boring tasks all day, and they keep getting bored, right? And I think automation will have a big impact because not only of these boring tasks, also because the attacks are increasing every year on year, right? And we will see more and more attacks every day. So it's expected that we need to automate. We cannot grow infinitely a team. So it's expected that we automate some parts of those boring tasks. That's my view on it, at least.
There you go. But in the world of cyber, you'll always find someone that finds something interesting. So I don't think we should completely discount the boring, but
yeah,
I think
you will always need someone to act on it. So on the boring parts, you will always need someone to give a thumbs up or thumbs down. This is true, this is not, this is false positive, this is not. So, but still you need someone, in the end, someone has to press the button. Right?
Yeah, and it reminds me of the story. Everyone has their favorite story about technology out there, but some technology out there, people say it's so successful through AI at spotting problems because it's so successful at spotting false positives. And then, you know, the reason people buy such a product is because they get a big readout of all the activity of the day. Well, the activity was loads of false positives. But anyway, there you go. That's a bit poking the bear. I shouldn't do that. But I like this. So we've had many topics. We've looked at internal, external environments. We've looked at merging active threat hunting with intelligence tools, the ATPs, MITRE ATT&CK framework, SOC collaboration. What about Germany? Automating threat hunting. I think this is a great tour de force through what is a quite challenging topic, and it's quite an emerging topic. So we are now out of time. Francesco, Florin, and Ahmet, thank you very much for being such great panelists.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Philip.
I look forward to seeing you in the audience, and yeah, I look forward to being back in Germany too.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, thanks a lot. This is a very, very interactive session. People are sending me direct messages, which is lovely. I like receiving them. Please keep it. But if you click all panelists and attendees in the chat box, then we can chat with each other as well. But yeah, thanks for your comments directly to me. If you meant for them to be for the wider audience, then yeah, please click the all panelists and attendees. What a tour de force around the world of the SOC. We've gone to things that you're not familiar with, hopefully. So we've brought in some nice military, fusion center-esque topics. We looked at the ISOC, we looked at architect, the CISO, but now I'm very pleased to